Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So we've been decoding Mamwich, changing to Manwich. We got our extractions, or we got our residue as evidence for the change. We got our extractions. We got our extractions to run through all the categories. Found the University of New Mexico as our potential quantum network user. Then we converted those extractions into numbers using a numerology chart and ran that through the categories. Then we connected the University of New Mexico to Manwich through gematria and connected both of those to the other 14 for a total of 15 effects through gematria that we've connected so far. We then converted those extractions to a simple binary and ran that through the categories, and now we're on the alphabetic order. So with Manwich, the only thing that happened is an M changed to an N, and we used this chart to convert M to 13 and N to 14. So MN became 1314. Now I think we're going to do something with these numbers here eventually, like MN, then 1314, and then ACMADN, and then probably this number sequence 13145 or something like that. All right. So, but for now, we're just doing 1314. So, if we and we got these numbers to run through stock market, finance, genetics, medical, chemical, atomic numbers, artificial intelligence, robotics, machinery, and military. And now we are on laboratories. So if you start coming forward with 13, and mind you, there's more, but we're not going to spend all day going through everything. But mind you, if they were calculating with a quantum computer, they would calculate everything. But we're going to pick one here. Article 13, laboratories. You got definitions, report of findings, testing for tuberculosis, reporting of hemoglobin A1C, national herpes simplex specimens, high containment research laboratories, registration, high containment research laboratories required reports. So this goes on, but that's what it entails right here. So Article 13, laboratories. If we move on from that, we got 131. How about 131 Anderson Biology Laboratory at Rice, Natural Sciences, Earth, Environmental, and Planetary Sciences. So it's got a map of where it's at. But I think the important thing is this is a biological laboratory. 131 Anderson Biological Laboratory. All right, if we move on from that, you get 31. And how about 31st Medical Group, Aviano Air Force Base. Clinical Laboratory. We are a limited service laboratory providing basic testing within the subspecialties of chemistry, hematology, microbiology, urinalysis, immunology, transfusion services, and coagulation. Specialized tests such as histopathology and cytology. Specimens are shipped to a military and civilian reference laboratories in Europe and CONUS. So 31st Medical Group, Clinical Laboratory. All right, and there is more, guys, but we're not going to go through it all. Trying to keep these shorter now. If we move on from that, you got 314, and WAC 314-55-1035, laboratory certification, suspension, and revocation. So this deals with laboratory certification and suspension and revocation in the state of Washington. We could go through this, but I don't think we need to. So, more laws, rules, regulations for laboratories in the state of Washington. All right. If we move on from that, you have 1314, clinical laboratory studies of alpha ethylithios. This word, th1314, National Library of Medicine. So this deals with this thioisonic catenamide. th1314. And you got similar articles and references. Free article. No abstract available. But I think we get the point. It's this word that's really hard to pronounce. th1314. And just to show you, there is actually more in all of these. Human Factor XLLA Enzyme Research Laboratories. And here's your 1314. Rush Outreach Laboratory. And here's 1314 as part of an address. Streck Laboratories labeling sleeves for ESR vacuum tube. So there's your 1314. Lab and Blood Work, Flint and Saginaw Region. McLaren.org. And there's your 1314, part of an address, McLaren Laboratory. Once again, 1314. So, method 1314, liquid solid partitioning as a function of liquid. This section does not list company or list common laboratory glassware. But method 1314. How about RS 37:1314, Clinical Laboratory Personnel Committee? And this is 2011 Louisiana laws. RS 37:1314. So you got quite a few things going on there, on all these actually, but I'm trying to limit it. So if we move on from that, that gets you through going forward. Now we're coming back. We start with 4.1, and you got 41 here. Laboratory of Receptor Biology and Gene Expression. Laboratory of Pollution Prevention here as well, 41, but receptor biology and gene expression was the most interesting thing to me. The research program in the Laboratory of Receptor Biology and Gene Expression concerns the elucidation of mechanisms involved in the regulation of genetic expressions in eukaryotic cells, the architecture and organization of the mammalian nucleus, and the identification of genes and regulatory processes involved in modulated states of expression during oncogenesis. The lab includes 6 internationally recognized research groups, which is our next category, headed by senior investigators Tom, and these senior investigators, and I'm not going to try to pronounce all their names. Daniel Larson would be easy enough. Gordon Hager. And the tenure track investigator, Efson Arda. So, yeah, you got that going on with 41. Yes, this was 41, as you saw. And if we move on from that, you got 413. You got yourself a court case here. Chavez versus Whitehall Laboratories Incorporated. There's your 413. So you got a court case. And if you move on from that, you got the whole thing coming back. 4131. How about MICR 4131? Industrial Microbiology Laboratory. So this 4,000 level course has a 6,000 level counterpart. Students should refer to the graduate announcements for 6,000 level description and requirements. So this is apparently a class at Clemson, Industrial Microbiology Laboratory. But you've also got Kaiser Clinic Laboratory 4131, part of an address in San Francisco, California. Sunrise Medical Laboratories 4131 Richmond Avenue. So there's a part of an address, another laboratory. Diagnostic Lab Services. And there's your 4131 as part of a phone number. Wellspan Lab Services at 4131, part of an address, Oregon Pike in Brownstone, Pennsylvania, I think. There's your MICR 4131 Industrial Microbiology Laboratory, Corsical. We were just looking at that. Laboratory, San Francisco 4131. Might be the one we just looked at up there. Epithelial cell medium animal science cell, catalog number 4131. Science Cell Research Laboratories is proactively contributing to the fight against the Convids 1984 by George Orwell. Laboratory Services, Melham Clinic or Medical Center, Broken Bow, Nebraska. And that's part of a phone number, 4131. National Drug Code Directory, issue 1, page 99. Here's your 4131. Biocraft Laboratories Incorporated. So you got quite a few things going on with all of these, and I showed you. I was just trying to show that. But they, if it was a computer making a calculation, it would calculate all that stuff. But we don't have that kind of time to go through absolutely everything. So we just kind of got to pick something and go with it. It's still almost a 15-minute video. So anyway, that's going to be it for this one. We'll do research groups next in the next couple days, hopefully. So for now, guys, and again, I think we are going to do something while we're here with these numbers combined with these letters and run through the categories. I think you'd have MN 1314, and then you could skip 1314, and ACDM ADN, and then you could skip that and put these numbers and then scramble them up, because after you get past that, it starts to get really, really big. And maybe we could combine that with some of these. We'll figure it out, but I think we are gonna look into that and just see what's there and what isn't there. We already showed that there's stuff there, and I think it would be interesting to see what they're looking at. So I think we will do that before we get to South America, back to South America. But research groups next. So for now, guys, thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down when appropriate. Thanks for all your comments, leads, feedback, and subscriptions. And thanks for watching, guys. And for now, you guys have a great rest of your day.